It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the AFC North. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Now from the banks of Lake Erie, EA Sports welcomes you to Huntington Bank Field here in downtown Cleveland. Brandon Gaughan, Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And off we go from Cleveland. Oh, a good return up past the 30. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by the former Colorado Buffalo, their rookie quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100 plus the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Sanders. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. 2nd down. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They'll look to throw again. Right back to Jeudy, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 31-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Back to throw again. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They'll try to run this one in. And this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. A gain of 2, just like we saw on 1st and 2nd down as well. Deuce is wild. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on, and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's Jackson to throw. He'll get this to Flowers, left side. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And I think he just wanted to give the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. In motion left, Flowers. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Doesn't look to be any confusion here as they come up now on a 2nd and 6 following the delay of game. And Jackson throwing once more. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 36. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at him.
He finds Bateman over the middle. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Now it's Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Ravens first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Off the option, here's Henry. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And this one is right through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the 2nd drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me,
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like
and a really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. 2nd drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, That's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Now Sanders from the gun, he'll throw.
Into the hands of Cedric Tillman.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Pardon me, sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a fourth down.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Throwing is Jackson.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Henry. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Myles Garrett showing that athleticism as he gets in to make the play.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Flowers going to go in motion right.
Now it's Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
They're looking deep here for Flowers.
It got his man complete.
Now he's loose down the middle of the field.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Zay Flowers.
An 80-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Point after try forthcoming. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And he powers his way up past the 30.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained. And, in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here now, 3rd and a yard.
Back to throw. Sanders.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
Open man, he completes it to Judy.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. Looking to throw. Sanders. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now 2nd and 9.
Jackson now. A short throw caught by Andrews. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here's 3rd and 3.
In motion goes the tight end. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson.
Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews. And he will have a Ravens 1st down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows 1st down.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the 2nd half.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Raven offense set to start this 3rd quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the 2nd half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
They go play action with Jackson.
This will go to Henry out wide.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Well, that's not exactly how they drew that one up, nor practiced it, because on 1st down, you're trying to get some yardage to set up 2nd and 3rd down calls. In this case, had to drop it off to his running back, but boy, they closed quickly on that one and stopped him behind the line of scrimmage.
A short throw caught by Andrews. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And they'll accept that penalty. Not ideal there. That delay of game backs them up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on third down. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force the incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Here comes Carter. 47-yard punt, a return of 4. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
Here's Sanders throwing to start the drive.
He'll get this complete to Tillman. In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
A great job defensively taking away his receivers, and he was forced to put that one into Lake Erie, but that's what good quarterbacks do. They don't take unnecessary chances if they don't have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Sanders. And it is caught. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And obviously they want that run yardage, so they decline the penalty.
No doubt about it. Smart on their part. They finished off the play. But if you're going to jump, if you're going to commit a penalty, it's your job to finish off the play so you don't give up big gains like that.
They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll send the tight end in motion.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal. Looking to throw. Sanders. And he's got it. A gain of 7 that time. Second goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. So a strong drive here to lead off this third quarter. That has them an extra point away from tying things up.
And, partner, this is pretty much what they envisioned when they were sitting there in the locker room thinking about getting things going to start here in the third quarter. Getting out there, a field goal would have been fine. But going ahead and scoring here, an extra point away from tying things up, that's exactly how they drew it up on the board.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And we are even at 10 apiece. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
They're looking deep here for Flowers.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Zay Flowers with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Now for the point after. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17 to 10. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Cleveland offense making their way out. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But Let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Back to throw. Sanders. Open man, that's Tillman. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Out quickly to Judy. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 6. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 13-yard line. Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass, and they get 12 yards out of it.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Looking to throw. Sanders. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Kyle Hamilton running up from his safety spot and earning the sack.
The lessons will continue, but this rookie, he's got to learn how to read situations just a little bit better. That far behind the line, he's got to find a way to get rid of the football and not take the sack, whether it's with his legs or just throwing it away.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 68 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing 2nd and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like 2nd and impossible, now has him within throwing range of a first down.
Back to throw. Sanders. And that is incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. 4th down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play, but the pressure ended up getting to him.
Pressure got to him. Really big sack and a turnover here on downs. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going, and above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle. Here's 2nd and 7.
First carry now for Justice Hill. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Oh, the motion comes too late. And this is going to be a delay.
And that flag accepted.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. This time Jackson will throw it. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Well, they need to make something happen for a chance at a comeback, and I'd say that qualifies. They took advantage of the play-action pass by the offense, ran right through it, and got a big sack in a big moment.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The Browns drive about to get started.
They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Looking to throw. Sanders. He's got Njoku over the middle. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Deontay Johnson,
41 yards.
and the Browns are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. And we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here, and we're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. That time a 6-play drive.
And in the end, it was Deontay Johnson's touchdown catch to cap the drive. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes the right read seemingly every time.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay. Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. To throw is Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Down the left sideline. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers, 69 yards. And the Ravens strike quickly to take the lead here in the 4th.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Browns offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
A big play in this football game. 3rd down and 1. Connecting with Johnson. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Obviously a big 1st down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Looking left side. It's complete. He's got it. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. He's back to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker Kyle Van Noy. And the Ravens have just about sewn up this football game. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And they'll indeed take a knee. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Cleveland.